Now, so I will
There's
just go
one.
ahead and start. Hello and welcome everybody to the friendly, very friendly critique session covering Facebook. I'm Allison Norfleet Bringer, and today helping out this morning is, of course, illustrious Kim Carr and phenomenal Wanda Tyner. And a little housekeeping, although we usually have everybody stay muted. We're just going to go ahead and kind of open it up, but definitely if there's any background noise, we'll try to mute it just so we can actually hear everybody speak. Definitely when we are speaking about your page, please unmute. So if you want to have any conversation, and this is going to be just kind of like I said, definitely friendly, everybody having a good time learning, because we all need to learn and grow and get ourselves out there. If you do have additional things that you want to say and maybe someone else is talking, remember the chat feature. You'll find your chat button at the bottom of your bottom taskbar. So you can go ahead and just type something in. We'll be monitoring that as well. So then in turn, if there's additional questions, we can kind of jump those in as well. So guys, we'll just go ahead and kind of start everything up. Kim, thank you so much.
All right, so we kind of put together some points we're just going to kind of go through to kind of guide us through a friendly critique. But I think we should start by just asking, are you okay with us providing friendly suggestions or thoughts about what's working and what's not?
Absolutely, man.
Great. So, Kim, you want to start by talking about the avatar or the bio picture?
Okay. Well, this here is Cindy's business page, and Cindy, you're juried in painting. Is that correct? With Busman's Our Hands.
I am not a juried. I just applied for juried. Right now, I'm just a
Okay.
member. But yeah, painting.
Okay. Well, excellent. Okay, excellent. And is this acrylic, or I don't know painting real well. So what, could you explain your process again a little bit to us?
Basically, it's acrylic paint and ink done in reverse on the back of plexiglass or glass canvas. So like the one that you're looking at, the flowers, is done on, I can't remember, a 20 by 20 sheet of acrylic. And I turn it over, and what you see is what I've painted first. So it's all done in reverse.
Very cool.
Okay.
Well, I'll start by telling you
it's very, very nice work. So
what did you say, Wanda? I couldn't hear you.
I really like
yeah, I think it's colorful, it's clear, it's easy to read. A lot of times I encourage people to use an image of themselves as their avatar. But your logo is very nice. I know Patty also uses her logo as her avatar. And so I think if you get something that looks professional, and it's something that people come to recognize you by, I think it's fine. Yours is well done. I would make sure that on occasion you post a picture of yourself on your Facebook page, with a piece or something, because when I first started out as a photographer, I had a Facebook page and I was, posting all these pictures and that. But I didn't really know anybody. I didn't come from the art world and stuff, so I didn't have all these connections yet. But I'd been doing Facebook for a while. I was at Botanical Gardens for a photo shoot, and twice people yelled out, "Hey, Kim Carr," and I'm like, and it was people that was fellow photographers that were out there shooting flowers and stuff. I was out there doing a senior photo shoot, but they recognized me from Facebook. So I would encourage just to give the people a connection, because even now with COVID, it's more important that we connect with our audience. Give them that personal connection. They want to shop local. They want to buy from people they know and stuff. So periodically do a post with a picture of yourself in there too, I think.
Yes, excellent advice.
As far as your banner. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I would say, beautiful presentation. Your banner is, it's a gorgeous piece. It's well shot. That's what people see when they first come to your page. Some people leave that the same banner all the time. Every once in a while, I'll change mine up. Who else changes theirs up? Your banners?
I
change
change mine up regularly.
I recommend that,
Okay.
whether it's regularly or just once in a while, because Facebook then puts that post, tells everybody you changed your cover page, and it just reminds them about you and whatever you're putting on your, it's just another way to get out in front of people. You could probably even just have 3 or 4 images and switch between them and not
I
make it hard.
Yeah, and I was gonna also, a lot of times I do some advertising pertaining to an event. And as my events change, sometimes I'll actually make my band kind of go along with whatever events coming up. So that always kind of keeps them up to date as well. So I do change it regularly as well, kind of going along with what larger event I'm doing as well.
Yeah, and I also like to take an opportunity because like if I change my cover photo, I can then go in and edit and either put a link to something that's available on my website or kind of use that as an opportunity, knowing that it goes out saying, here the art studios changed the cover page, and then there's a little blurb about it. So that's what I use mine for.
Well, and as we scroll down, we see that, Cindy, you've done exactly that. Here's a picture of you with one of your paintings and stuff. So that's excellent. And also too, you might have seen that I just shared this post to the Best Missouri Hands page. That's another reason it's critical if you really want to be selling your art and getting it out there in front of people and stuff. You need to have a business page. So many artists just use their personal page, which is nice, but you're limiting yourself because it's only getting seen by your friends and family, the people that are really close to you. Because if you get a stranger that says, hey, let's be friends, you're like, I don't know this person. But on your business page, it doesn't matter. Someone has come across your work, has met you somewhere, seen your work in a gallery or something, or at a show. They like it. They can go to your business page. They can like your business page. And it doesn't matter if you know that person or not. They can still see your work. And the thing is, with a personal page, most people have their settings so that you can't share that post that they do, or it's limited who you can share it to, where on your business page, you can share it to anybody. And so I just in 3 seconds time, I shared it to the Best Missouri Hands main page. And we've got, I don't know how many followers now, like over 2,000. We've got a good following. So that's another important reason to have a business page. Wanda, you want to hit some topics?
Yeah, if you go scroll up just a little bit on the about, I think Cindy did a really good job on the about. I have a little bit of a sense of what kind of her art is and kind of where she's going with the fun, vibrant, happy art comment. And also she's also got a little bit the additional information, some awards. I think that's a great way to show that you've got some awards and some exhibits there. I don't see people use the additional information as much as they can, and that's nice to see that some people want to know that you're an award-winning artist, so that's a nice little touch too.
Do you think it matters?
Yeah, and I'll point out too about.
I just one question on the where we
What
have
was that, Cindy?
do you think it matters on the awards, exhibits, that kind of thing? What, like I have it in, should it be starting with the present down to the oldest or oldest to the present? Or do you think
I just took a class yesterday and they suggested something that is making me really rethink my whole CV. So I'll bring it up here. They say instead of chronological either way, you should put the most important or the most relevant or the whatever first and not worry about it being date driven.
Okay.
And it made a lot of sense to me. Like your best to show, who cares what the date is? That was a best to show. That's a lot,
Mhm.
a lot more than just an exhibit. If you're talking about awards, if you want to highlight at the very top, here's my next exhibit, and then here's the awards I've had in the past, or past exhibits, that may be more of just letting people know about an upcoming exhibit.
I do have a question on that, Wanda. Do you list all your awards or do you stop at a certain year?
Well, I don't think in Facebook you want all of that there. I think here, for what Cindy's doing, just having a few highlights of
Okay,
awards, a few exhibits that maybe are really key would make sense, because people on Facebook are not looking for your whole CV. And I think when
okay,
you have your CV or your bio, that's a lot different. And some people list all, some people have multiple types of CVs. And what they told us yesterday is that, somebody's been around for 30 years is not going to list 30 years of shows. You want to list, the relevant ones that make sense. So, but you want a version of your CV that has everything.
okay.
So that you have, just if nothing else for your own information, if somebody asks you, how long have you been here? Or when were you this or whatever, you've got that knowledge to use for whatever you might need it for. But I think here at Facebook, you want to highlight. People don't spend lots of time reading details on Facebook.
Excellent.
I see you've listed
Yeah, your
Instagram.
website's where you want to put that.
Yeah. Cindy, do you have a website, or is that just further down? Or do you
I
only?
think it's further down. I don't know why it's not showing up.
There we go.
Maybe it's somewhere else in
There we
there.
are.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's important. Everybody should have a website. And if you do have a website, you should make sure it's linked. So I think this is really good, Cindy, that you have that link there.
Another thing I want to point out about the About section, since I do a lot of features for Best Missouri Hands, and I change the banner every week on the Best Missouri Hands Facebook page. And so I highlight 3 artists at a time. And I will tell you, some artists, it is so hard to find out anything about them. They don't put anything in that About section. And so it is so nice to see something there and see a link to your website and stuff like that. You're doing good, Cindy. You're doing an excellent job.
Thanks.
Because it's hard to share someone's art, and I could put up a picture of a cow, but who cares? But if I say, hey, I'm working on this photo project, I'm visiting farmers with rare breeds and stuff, people start to engage. So it's the same with any kind of art that you create. You need to give people a story, some information, some background, so that they can get a feel for it and get excited about it. So you're doing an excellent job on here.
Yeah,
Thanks.
looks good. Let's look at the post, Kim. Let's look at just like go down some of her recent posts. Oh, I should ask that sign up. What is that link there?
That links to my website to sign up for the email, like to sign up for email marketing.
Okay.
Nice. Good job. Well, and seeing Cindy was just on the Best Missouri Hand banner that's up now. And then there's Allison in the first spot, and then Don Kelly's in the third spot. So it's nice to be able to have information that I can find. You see how I've got information about them. And that's Cindy's I grabbed off of her Facebook page. But some artists it is impossible to find information. So nice job.
And it looks like you've got a shop set up. That's good.
Yeah, and that connects to my website.
I think that's big good, because at least I've been finding people are impulse buyers, and if they can just, I like this, and click right on that product.
Mhm.
I was curious about that too. When I've noticed through all the ones that I have seen so far, when they say the shop. So you guys are actually attaching your shop, your actual imagery to your website versus the Facebook. And that's what I was curious, how many people are doing it going to their website, or are they using the Facebook option to actually has as their shop, especially for people who might not have a website? Just
Well,
curious.
for me, Allison, I just switched to Shopify, and Shopify makes that really easy. You can link or integrate with Facebook and Instagram, and every time you add a product, you can say you want it on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a review process, so it takes, an hour or something, and then it shows up and it looks like a Facebook shop, but it's really when you click on the product, well, you have a choice. When you click on the product, you could have it bought in Facebook or you can go to your website. But I think most of us realize it's smarter if you have a website to have it go to your website, because then you get,
Are those things dropping straight onto when they show onto your actual feed? Are they showing? So that's showing as post on your feed when you
both.
do that?
But if I make it a post, it'll show up in the shop regardless. But if I make it a post, then it's a tagged product. Now, Cindy, I don't know how yours is working.
Mine
Yeah,
is
that's
through Square. That's what my website is. And there was some button I pressed on Facebook to automatically sync it up. I didn't do anything. I mean, it really kind of does it for you, which is
because it looks really nice that you have that shop. That's why I was just curious to.
yeah, it did it for me.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
Allison,
smart.
Allison, you use Shopify, so it would be real easy for you to do that
I
integration.
always see that Facebook button, and I always go, okay, but I want to figure out how it's going to show up first. Nice view at the art gallery. Nice.
I like, Cindy, that you have a variety of posts, that you have some that are highlighting the galleries and some that are highlighting your artwork or your process. It's not all the same type of post.
Well, I'll tell you, that's something I've been
Right.
working on, like to try to get in the groove of posting every day or almost every day. And I don't know if any of you have worked with Canva, but it's been really, really helpful in creating posts that look professional and that look, uniform, I guess.
Yes.
And also,
Yeah, it's a nice program.
so I'm
And see,
still learning that. but-
How are you using, so you're using Canva, so you take your artwork like that heart and you're adding in your logo and some of that stuff around the artwork for the Canva?
Yeah, there's so many templates on there. Like it's unreal what they have. And I have paid for it's free, but you can pay, I think I pay $12 a month to get even more designs and things. So I can upload my artwork, any pictures, anything I want, and I could make Instagram, Facebook post, and there's a variety of things you can do with it. I've done my business cards through there. They just have a lot of potential, I think.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one. That's a nice one.
I agree.
And
Well, I think Cindy, you're doing an excellent job.
yeah, your images look all high quality.
That's
Yeah.
really important.
Are you using the story feature at all?
I use it a little bit on Instagram, but I'm not as familiar with it as I want to be. That's kind of a goal, is to learn it.
Do you have your Instagram and your Facebook linked?
Yeah. Anything I can link, I've linked.
Anybody else have any thoughts? Anybody here on the call?
You guys all use.
I'm trying to learn Canva and I want to start using it more. And now that I look through Cindy's page, I really do want to get into it because you can just see the consistency. She's got all these different kind of posts, but you can see the consistency and style. And I really, really like that. There's just, it just adds to, I think her work and stuff. So
I will tell you, if I can figure it out,
I'm
you can figure it
impressed.
out. You can, and I'll help if I can in any way to answer questions. Do you guys all use the can't think what it's called, like the if you have a business page, you get the business suite, and that has been really helpful in I'll try to plug in a week's worth of post and then it just automatically publishes them each day. I have found that a really useful feature.
Yeah, I use
The
the
schedule.
I use the Creator
Schedule,
Studio
that's the word.
component. What I like about Creator Studio is that I can post it on Instagram and Facebook at the same time if I want.
And that's how the Facebook's business suite is as well.
I think Creative Studio is just a piece of the business suite,
Oh, okay.
one of the different tools. Oh, I like that. That's nice.
I like to have that's wonderful that you have the shots of having your work in a atmosphere. That's why I noticed, Kim, you have that a lot, and it kind of gives that person, well, what will it look like in my home? What does it look like on a wall? What, what is the size? You get a scale, you say, oh yeah, that could work where I'm thinking it'll go. So it's wonderful because sometimes when we do those shots and it's just the straight shots that we almost use for like jurying and things like that, it kind of, the customer kind of needs to feel like what will it be on me, or what will it look like in my home? And when you start reading those shots, that's just amazing. That helps people to know exactly, oh well, yeah, this would work. I do need this.
Cindy,
I
what
might
do you
buy
use
it.
for that?
I think it's been really helpful for me with I use the Art Room app to superimpose my work into a room. And I think it's been really helpful for me because I'm photographing farm animals. And so people don't always think that, a pig is going to look all that great hanging in their place. But when they see these superimposed shots that I have, they're like, oh, wow. Yeah, that would fit in a city apartment or something like that. So it's been very beneficial. And here, Cindy, this is a real room, right? Where you
Yeah,
photographed.
it's somebody, it's a
yeah.
massage studio. Like that's her kind of waiting area.
Okay. Nice.
Kim, I
Nice.
have to tell you,
Nice. Well, do you have any questions? Huh?
I was going to tell you, Kim, my house is decorated with all sorts of fun, funky art, but I bought a print of yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a chick with the thing of eggs. Like it totally would not be something that somebody would think would be in my house. And it looks so good in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So there.
I'm glad to hear that. Excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you.
But
do you have any questions about your?
I do. So you mentioned the Art Room app. I mean, I love, ideally, if you can have pictures actually in people's locations, I think it's awesome. But I've been looking for an app. So Art Room app is the one that you recommend for putting your.
Yes.
Putting it in there?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a couple
and I do pay for it, but they have a free, I don't know if you can see. I'll put the link in there though, or it's just Art Room apps.
All right, I can find it.
I played with Canvy, and there's another one called, what is it, Wall Room? Barb, what's the one you use?
I think it's called Wall app.
Wall app, okay.
Yeah, and if you have an Android, the one that Kim uses, you can't use. I mean, you can use it. No, you can't on an Android. It only works on an iPhone. So there's some of the apps available on iPhones are not available on Androids.
I found Canvy is available both on the web as well as a phone app, which, I like that. Depends on where you are, what you're doing. You got choices of how to use it. Does that work the same way, Art Room?
Barb?
What was that, Wanda?
Does Art Room work on the computer and on your phone?
You know what? I haven't tried it on the computer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll have to experiment after this.
The one that I use works on both, and I don't use my phone. So when I do it on the computer.
Okay, thank you. That's awesome.
Right.
All right, anything else, Cindy, before we go on to the next page?
I don't think so. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Did a great
did a
job.
nice job. Oh, let me go to, we're going to go to Patty's next. Can you guys see that?
There's Patty.
I love your cover photo.
Okay,
I do too.
Thanks.
yeah. Yeah, I'd say Patty's got a nice presentation. First thing you see when you pop on her page, beautiful banner. She's using her logo as her avatar too, and it works. She's got the Shop Now button. So, I mean, you know, when you first come to it, you got a professional looking page. It looks very nice.
I gotta look into that
And
sign
when
up
you come
button
down
for
here-
my newsletter. That's definitely something I haven't used that one yet, but I liked that Cindy does with the sign up. So that's definitely something I'm
Well,
gonna
I think
look
you can
into.
only have, I think you can only have one button though,
Yeah.
Patty.
Oh,
And
so
you've got
like
the shop
instead
now,
of
and when they
shop
click,
now? Okay.
So curious question,
yeah,
how do you
so,
change
so
it?
I think I'd leave yours.
Okay.
The shop now goes to your website,
By
right?
clicking on it. Yes.
Okay, but go ahead and
And
say
then
now,
when,
how do you
then,
change it?
and when they click on shop now, it's going to take them to your website, and they're going to get the pop-up then for your newsletter. So I don't know
Yeah.
that, you know,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd really change that. You know, but those are two, yeah, those are two options you have though, is the, you know, sign up or the shop now. So see right now, as soon as I click that, here comes your pop-up for your newsletter where I could subscribe if I
That
wasn't
makes
already one of
me
your
so
first
happy.
subscribers.
That makes me so happy that I have that. And I'm currently working on my new newsletter for this month too.
Yay. So now how do you change that button on
Good
your
job.
Facebook page?
When you're in your edit mode, it'll probably say something like edit now
Okay.
when you go in to edit your profile.
Or settings, yeah, because one of the options is buttons, I think.
Yeah.
And then that's where you can choose.
See, I know my page needs work, so that's why I am asking all the questions that people aren't going, I don't know if I'm asking. I'm gonna ask all the crazy ones.
Oh, yeah.
That's how
Well,
we
I applied for a shop now button on my Facebook page about two and a half weeks ago or so, and I got rejected. It would not let me, and they wouldn't tell me why. It just kept giving rejections, and I just kept trying. And so finally I got to a point where it said that you can dispute this rejection or something like that. And so I disputed it, and I'm like, you know, I don't understand why, you know, I mean, I do everything the right way, I think. And I finally got an approval. I just haven't gone through and set things up. So,
Okay.
but I think I might do like Cindy and probably have it, you know, sign up now where it goes, you know, and it links to my website, and it gives them a chance to sign up for my, you know,
Okay.
but it looks nice.
The only thing that I wish,
Wanda?
Patty, or maybe I should ask you, Patty, you don't put your name anywhere. Is that on purpose? Your personal name?
Well, on this page, I mean, long-term goals here, the Art Studios is going to be a large studio with multiple artists in it. I mean, that's kind of right now, it's just Roy and I. So even like when I do posts, I try and step back and represent here the Art Studios as kind of like a larger entity. And then when I make posts, I'll say, Roy is busy working on blah, blah, blah. Or Patty's been working on, like, so when I do my post, it's coming from the studio referring to the studio artist as Roy or Patty. Like I try not to do the we. I mean, sometimes I'll do a we in just kind of the studio in general.
That explains a lot to me, Patty. I appreciate that, because sometimes for me, it's weird reading about Patty instead of you saying, hey, I've been working on this. And so, but your explanation and now makes sense to me if you plan on at some point having a studio. So thank you.
Right.
For,
Like I'd love to, you know, I mean, and this is of course, long-term goals of envisioning having property and having a big studio. And then basically here, the Art Studios having resident artists that would be part, you know. So, I mean, it feels weird sometimes when I make the posts. Sometimes I try and just kind of like, even with that one, you know, like sometimes I just try and make a comment about what the image is, but yeah. I like to pretend that Here the Art Studios is bigger than just a couple rooms in my house.
It is. It is bigger.
That's right.
Big plans,
Right,
big
definitely
plans.
They're awesome plans.
Well, and I think like Wanda brought up on Cindy's page, you do a nice job of mixing things up too. And so it and your photos are
Yes, I was saying, her
very,
images are
very
beautiful.
nice photos. Yeah.
I
You
love
know,
that.
here's real life set, you know.
Breakfast on art.
Yeah. And
Oh.
and you do a good job of intertwining your personal life, you know, giving them a little bit of insight into your real life, because that's one thing that really I think helps connect, you know, my followers and the folks that enjoy my work, is because, you know, they see, you know, life on the farm, and they have an insight into who I am as a person. And I think you've done a good job of you know, incorporating that too, and utilizing your art to help tell your story. So nice job.
Thanks. Well, that's, you know, I feel like, especially over this past year, not doing art shows, I feel like I'm trying to use my social media to not only be selling my art, but selling myself as artist, because I truly believe, and I know I've said it before, that when people buy your artwork, they really are buying a snippet of you and kind of your story. And when Roy and I are at art shows, it's like, we love telling our story. And I feel like by being, you know, being close to people and being able to tell our story, we definitely do sales with our story. So now that we're not in that situation, it's like, okay, well, how can I tell that same story through images?
I love that. And I struggle with that, trying to get just getting my personal story across. So I love hearing that that's what you're doing. That's something I'm
Yeah.
striving to do.
And that's what I do the same. So I do not have my Instagram page set up to my business page. I have my Instagram page set up to my personal Facebook page. But I do use my Instagram, like it's on my business cards, my handle for Instagram. But even with that, and that a little bit more so, but that's where I'm trying to more so sell myself as the artist, where I feel like my Facebook page, I'm more so trying to sell the artwork itself. But, you know, everything, I feel like I just keep trying to point everyone back to my website, because ideally that's where I'm going to generate my sales. There's a lot of, you know, I have a section about us, I think, on the website, and then also now getting newsletter subscribers.
I think I like your posts. I think you're also doing a good job with some engaging posts where you're engaging the conversation, getting people to respond to questions or just your story that creates more engagement. I think you do a good job with that.
Thanks.
One thing you don't actually have a Facebook shop, so you might look into whether or not you have the ability to integrate your products into
Yeah,
Facebook.
that's something I'm interested in seeing how that works. Because like with my individual posts, I usually will just put a link like on there, like for those stone cairns. So I actually put the link to that on the website, but I don't officially have like the little buttons per, you know, image where, but I guess because I don't really feel like I'm putting up pictures to sell individual pieces. Every once in a while I do, but that'll be something, and that I guess I could find through the settings to
Yeah,
do
or,
the,
you know, in my case, I did it through Shopify, not through Facebook. So I think you can do it either way. So I think you use Square. I think you just
Mhm.
Google, how do I integrate Facebook with my Square shop? And it'll probably tell you how to set it up real quick.
And mine is
Yeah, because
Square,
I
and
know, oh, go ahead.
Mine is through Square, so it could not have been too difficult if I got it done.
Yeah, because I know if I go on my website that's through Square, I know I have options to share to Facebook. Like if there's a certain item on my website, I can go ahead and click, share to Facebook, and it's basically communicates and creates its own post
Yeah, this
via
is
the website. So,
that's different. There's a way to integrate your shop between the two. And so your products will actually show up as a shop on the left-hand side
mhm.
of your page there, as well as then you can tag your products if you have an individual product or a collection. Yeah, a lot of times you can tag the whole collection, like your whole collection of your cairns there.
Mhm.
I think just do a quick Google. I think you'll find it's probably pretty easy for yours because I think you use Square Shop, right?
Yeah, through this, Square, which is it's technically on the Weebly profile
Yeah,
or
I think it's Square.
platform.
I think it's Square that is your actual shop, and that's what you want to integrate if you want to do that. And you could do that in Instagram. You could choose to only do that with Instagram, where you are kind of doing individual products, and not do it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
One thing too that I might point out, Patty, and I'm not sure if this is still true, but and some workshops that I've taken about Facebook and stuff, when you put a link into your post, unless it's a paid advertisement, Facebook will really hardly limit your exposure, how many people are going to see it, because you're treating it as a business, which is what you want to do. But if you paid to have this post, go out, then they would say, hey, fine, and they'd show it to whoever you select in that. But when you put that site in there and you're not paying for it, they're really going to cut down the number of people they
Oh,
show
wow.
that to.
That is
Really?
So sometimes you might. Yeah, so that's why a lot of people put the links now in the comments. So you might say, see the comments for a link or something like that. But even Facebook will pick up on words like link, website, things like that, and they'll squeeze you down because Facebook has gotten greedy because being a billionaire is not enough. They want more money.
my
So,
gosh.
So then
I
I
did not
wonder,
know
you might
that.
want to think about that.
That's where
that
having
is
your
really
that's where
that
having your
is
shop
interesting.
that's where
That
having
is
your shop
really
integration. That's where having that integration
Yes.
makes a difference because they prioritize that and they
Yes.
really like it when you have the shop.
Absolutely.
I did not realize that because
Hmm.
I noticed that some of those posts when I'm like doing those events, those are smaller. If I'm just putting stuff like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and don't put, this is what I'm working on, or I put a video, those go through the roof. Okay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Put
is
the link in the
interesting.
comment.
Hey guys, I put a post out this morning. It doesn't happen every day, but I posted just a simple heart necklace that I probably had for 3 years that I made. It's already sold. Somebody
Wow.
clicked on
Oh,
the button.
nice.
Yeah.
But I think it's because you click on the button. They didn't have to contact me. They didn't have to do anything more than click on the buy now.
Okay.
That's
I'm
cool. I
learning.
will look into that.
You guys are helping me.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. You have any questions, Patty, before we move on? Because
Nope,
Right.
I'm good.
We're getting
I
short on
appreciate
time.
all the comments.
Okay. All right. So now we got Barb Bernie's glass artist, juried glass artist, and she has been burning things up as far as the things that she has accomplished and taken care of. And like, I have to give a hand to, like, Allison just did a Facebook Live event, which I know is scary. Patty just created her first newsletter last month, which I know was scary. And Barb has done numerous things lately that's out of her comfort zone. And so I'm very, very proud of everybody for, because the unknown is scary and it's hard to take that jump sometimes. And a lot of these things are frustrating and hard to figure out or just time challenging. So good for everybody. And Barb, You've got a nice banner. You got a collection of your work up there. Same thing with you for your avatar. You've chosen a piece of your artwork, which I think is a very eye-catching. I mean, who doesn't want to melt into those little eyes and see more, you know?
One of my
You,
favorites.
you've got the shop now button. Yeah, you got the shop now button. So you're doing good there, and look at your about section. You know, you've got everything on there and about your memorial pieces that you'll make with using ashes. Got your website link. And you
You
do
might
the
look
same
at that.
thing. You do a variety of, huh?
I was just going to say, yeah, Cindy had the additional information. I think we
Yeah.
might all want to look at that and see how we can use that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I made a note of that when we were talking about hers.
Yeah.
I was curious about two
And you do
things.
the,
Oh, I was going to ask because I thought this was really neat. Bart, when I had looked through yours, it was two posts that you had. Well, the first one when you were talking about the memorial, the video, that movement. How did you do that? I just think, is that an app, and maybe that would might be beneficial for a lot of, because that was nice to have movement in your post too. Like
Yeah,
just
that was
about
that was the first video that I had done. That was my assignment at the end of 2020. Just like Patty got the newsletter, I got the video assignment because I knew I was getting a holder, and I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a holder that you clip to your workstation and it holds your phone. So
Mhm.
that's what I did. I hooked it up and I just started videotaping. And it was really kind of funny because I have no experience doing this and I didn't know how to set up the camera and I didn't get the right camera angle, but whatever. But I also didn't know that you're only allowed 1 minute of video before it cuts you off unless you do a different kind of video. So I posted it on Instagram, and then it went to Facebook, but it just stopped after 1 minute. It was like, oh, so people
Okay.
didn't get to see, and some of it I was out of angle or whatever. So I have a lot of work to do on that. But what's interesting to me is yesterday I happened to be looking at the number of likes that I get on my Instagram posts. And I don't get a lot. I probably get, maybe the most I've ever had is probably 20 likes on any one post that I've done. But I looked at the video yesterday and it has 60 likes on it.
Yeah.
And I about fell on the
Oh.
floor. It's like
Excellent.
60 people watched and liked that video. So dang, if I ain't gonna go back up in the
There you
video
go.
and start figuring out other ways to do little video clips. Because of what I do, it is so labor intensive for one thing, but it takes a long time to do a piece. I mean, it takes me days and several firings to get a powder piece done. So I can do a little bit of work in progress kinds of things, but I'm hoping that maybe I can string something together that shows the whole process of one piece, if it's a smaller, one that doesn't take me quite so long. So I'm learning, I'm having fun.
Because it was great, because that one video with the pieces, multiple pieces showing, and then the one that is lower, that's why I definitely, when she brought yours up, I said I want to make sure to congratulate you on showing how you're putting the powder onto the piece, and that there's a tool, and it makes people feel like, well, okay, she's not, everybody sees the finished piece, they don't realize what we're going through to get there.
Right.
And that just brings them in a little bit more, and it gives the time that they hear your voice, that they get to see your face in certain ways. And that's more of a personal thing. So I wanted to congratulate you. I just thought I just wanted to say something to you, like kudos on that, because it for someone who doesn't do glass, I mean, I have done it, but I'm thinking like, I don't know glass at all. That just helped me, and that helped me to know you. Right. And it helped me understand that I want to buy that piece a little bit more, because I see you went through that to get there.
Yeah, and it really was fun for me, because one of the tough things about the kind of glasswork that I do is people think it's paint on glass. And I can't make them understand that it's not, that everything that I do is all glass. I may use a little enamel accents here and there, but everything on that piece is all glass. So I thought if I could show a little bit of what the process is like, people might then begin to see that it's not paint that I'm putting on that piece of glass. So
Have you guys ever tried, the time lapse video on your phone?
No.
That's
love
been
that.
kind of a fun one to do, and people
Yeah,
have responded well to that.
It would be, but yeah, after one video, I've got one video under my belt, so it's like I've got a long way to go.
The good news is that a lot of people are asking James to create some video editing classes. He asked what classes he could put together recently out on our members only page, and I saw that several people have asked for video editing. So that I think
He's working on something for Canva now, and that's why as I'm just listening in certain apps, because he says, well, what are other apps? And he wants to just emerge and learn. And I'm like, hey, this is what I've heard from there, because that's what he's actually in the other room now teaching his classes for the colleges. And he loves that part of it. So yeah, I will set that right onto him too.
I think he'll see that on the post. A lot of people are asking for it.
I've got another question though, or comment about the Shop Now button. I know I've heard you talk about how it connects with Square and Shopify. I have a GoDaddy website. My website is GoDaddy, and I was thinking about redoing my website so that I could get that feature where it connects directly to an individual piece. And I started messing around, and I found out that GoDaddy does have that feature, just like Shopify and the others do. But when I try to do it, and GoDaddy will connect directly. So I tried it, and when I did it, I got this message. This particular post, this particular Facebook page, my Barbara and Glass page, was termed not eligible, and it said this page is associated with a commerce account that sells on site. This partner does not currently suggest on-site checkout, or it doesn't currently support online checkout. So I'm having I don't know how to do this, but I think what happened was a number of years ago, I had another site on some other application that was connected to my Facebook account. I haven't been able to disconnect it. Even though the shop doesn't exist, I'm not on that website anymore. There's still a link somehow to that shop. And that business commerce, or that commerce account thing, is what's connected to it. And I don't know how to disconnect it so that I can reconnect this page to the Shop Now button. It would let me do my memorial page if I wanted to do that, but that's not the one that I want the Shop Now thing to be connected to. I want it to be connected to the glass page so that it goes directly to my website for particular pieces. So I don't know what to do. And trying to get in touch with somebody on Facebook is like, are you kidding me? There's just no way. So any suggestions anybody would have, or if they, tell me where to go look, or who to talk to, or whatever, because I don't want to have to redo my website just to get a connection, since I really like the website, I have to say that. And I know that capability exists, I just have to figure out how to make it work for me.
Maybe that might be a question you could ask James. That might be something he might be able to,
Okay.
he might have a little insight on that, know.
Or maybe GoDaddy can help you, because
Because
that,
obviously that's
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
GoDaddy doesn't have the best customer service in the world.
Okay.
I had a tough time getting help from them when I was actually building the website, and they built the first 5 pages for me on a special deal that they had.
Oh,
So
wow.
they built me my first 5 pages, and then I built the rest. But trying to get support, even for the first 5 pages, was like, are you kidding me? I just happened to get a nice developer who gave me his personal email and told me that I could connect him, contact him directly. And I had done that several times, but as he has more work to do, it's like I fall way down on his list of priorities. So
Right.
Have
sometimes
you
he
tried
doesn't get back to
Googling it?
me
Right.
for weeks.
Have
So
you tried Googling GoDaddy with Facebook integration? See what it brings
no,
up?
I haven't. And after last night's Summit Art meeting, I'm going to YouTube it and Google it a whole lot more than I have been doing.
I guess
Google is good.
question, Nina, did you have some specific questions for your Facebook that you would like us to go through?
No, I don't think so. I've actually been taking notes from looking at other people's, and I've got some ideas for things I can change. I am like the world's cheapest internet user, so I won't pay for anything. That's why I use Square for free. I do pay for my website, but I wouldn't use Shopify. I just, I know that and I'll pay special homage to Kim when I say this. There's a chicken and an egg thing going on where maybe I would sell more if I used paid services that helped. But there's also this problem that if you sell more, then you have to work harder. And I'm not interested, actually. I'm old and I'm very happy with the quantity that I sell now, which isn't very much, but this isn't, it's not a job. It's not, I don't know. I feel like if I added Shopify or if I paid for these services, I would feel a compulsion to create more, work harder. I don't want to. So, I maybe maybe that sounds negative to those of you who are really doing this as a career, but this is for me like my third or fourth career, and I'm doing it for fun. So when it stops being fun, then oh, I don't want to do it. And so I fell into this thing where I do a daily post based on some sort of fun day of the year. And so I do that, and I've gotten criticism from people because I Photoshop in things into my pictures. Sometimes it's a food day, so I'll Photoshop in food. Sometimes I put some other item in there. And whenever anybody has actually commented that the glass is nice, but the gross food ruins it, I just delete their comment because I'm not really interested in what people think. I'm doing it for me, and because it's fun. And so, and if I sell something, great. But mostly I sell through galleries, and I'm okay with that. I have my website is sort of schizophrenic because I have links to the galleries, and then I sell through Amazon handmade. I have an Etsy shop. Oh, and my cat's knocking over my light. I sell through I have a Square store. And so this is something that I actually asked James about, is that I would, if there were some way that I could just have one place, because what I do now is I keep separate inventory for all the different places that I sell. And once in a while, just recently actually, I screwed up and I offered for sale something somewhere that I no longer had. And so that was a little bit of an oops. It would be better, if I sold in one place and linked to one place. But I also, I don't know, I haven't figured that part out. And I do some Facebook stuff for a nonprofit. I'm involved in a website for a nonprofit, and it's just, it gets to be too much. And I actually work at the gallery, and I don't want to, and I end up, I tend to do, and now my son, who's a ceramic artist, he's created a lot of ceramic pieces, and he loves to make these things. He doesn't like to glaze them. So our house is, now that he's working from home and we put a wheel in the basement, I have a basement full of bisque pottery that will never go anywhere if I don't glaze it. So now I've become a ceramic artist, and I'm glazing his pottery, which is really fun. But
And they're
it's
beautiful.
just, thanks. It's like another thing that keeps me from doing glass. And my glass has taken over my entire house, which my husband doesn't like, because I've got projects everywhere. So I'm really, scattered.
Hey, Nina,
Yeah.
I have one suggestion. Maybe I saw when we were going through Barb's page, because I know how you superimpose things on your pieces. I like here where she did, she put chips in a bowl, but then she also included an image of just the glass piece.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something you might consider doing, because sometimes the ones with the food are a little
Gross.
out there. Yeah. Well, they're just out there. And so maybe if you did a side by side, because you can do that on Instagram, you can include I think up to 8 images.
Yes.
So you could include this image, of your piece with the popcorn, and then you could include an image of just the piece. And so that would maybe satisfy the people who just want to see the
Yeah.
artwork, and then also those
That's a
that,
good idea. That's a good idea.
enjoy
Yeah.
the funniness. Yeah, that might just
Yeah.
kind
I also,
of help boost your post up.
another artist once thought that she was being very helpful by telling me how unprofessional what I was doing with this was. And, I said, thanks. But I'm not doing it for other artists. I do it for me because it's fun. And like I said, if it's not fun, then I'm not doing it.
Right.
Cat.
Well, you got to do what makes you happy, and there's fans out there for all of us. There's going to be people that appreciate your humor and enjoy it. And, so I mean,
Well, when I first started, when I first started doing glass, I was trying to please everyone and trying to figure out what people wanted to buy. So I was just creating all sorts of things all over the place, and it made me crazy. So now I tend to just sort of do what I like, and I guess, buy it or not, but I'm doing it because I like it. And I guess I'm fortunate that this is not something I have to make money from, and good thing, right? Because I'd be in deep doo-doo.
Well, and also too, I want to applaud you, because I've noticed in several posts you've mentioned the Best of Missouri Hands. Here you're showing the stickers. Earlier you showed that the logo along with Greater St. Louis Art Association and stuff. So so thank you for doing that. That's a nice shout out for Best of Missouri Hands.
I get so much from the artist organizations and from other artists that that's easy.
Well, and also too, I want to mention, I really enjoy your collaborations. Is that with Jesse?
Yeah,
is that a piece of Jesse's?
That's a Jesse Cargan. That is probably one of my great joys, is that in the gallery where I already actually knew Jesse before we were in the gallery together, but I have since collaborated with a wood artist that I met through the gallery. I also work with a jewelry artist, and I knew her before there too. But yeah, I love the collaborative things. And I
Yeah,
also
I
like,
seen them at
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, I just had a suggestion.
I
but go ahead.
seen I've seen your collaborations with Jesse at the John Burroughs School Show. She had
Mhm.
several pieces of a combination with your guys' work, and I really liked them. Very nice job.
well, in the before times, we would do shows together where our tents would be next to each other, and we would have a kind of a yours, mine, and ours, where we'd have a table between us where we would put our collaborative pieces, and that was just wonderful. And maybe someday we'll do that again. But in the meantime, at least because we're in one of the galleries together, we can have our pieces there together, as I do with the jewelry artist and the wood guy too.
I just have
Nice.
one little suggestion.
Allison?
Yeah, I have one little suggestion because that I know that you do collaborate and the pieces are phenomenal. When you do have like that one shot where there's Jesse's work and your work, I don't know if you do it a lot of per se tagging or anything. Jesse might already have a page, or Best of Missouri Hands has their page. If you put in that Jesse, that tagging Jesse in that image or tagging Jesse in the text, then that also will further this post. So then Jesse's people get to see it, other folks get
Yeah,
to see it, and so then you get more population onto your one image, so more bang for the buck. Because now it's like
good idea.
two artists, or listen, I know which gallery because we work there together. But and that they are part of Best of Missouri Hands too. That's Artisans in the Loop. So then
Yeah,
in turn, like if you know you're gonna bring a piece in and say, oh, I just finished this piece, it's going to Artisans in the Loop, tag Artisans in the Loop, tag,
yeah,
just that little, that is, so then it pops up to how many other places. So then in turn, a little bit more bang for the buck. And
yeah, good
that's
idea.
just typing it in versus, and that's free. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
make sure to check all your boxes. And you get more, that, oh well, should I go to their website? Oh, I could go to that gallery. Oh, Jesse has it. Oh, I like that. Maybe they could collaborate and do a personal piece for me.
yeah.
Just a thought.
I'm much better at tagging in Instagram, although I am also a very lazy Instagram hashtagger, because I do what everybody says not to do. I basically copy and paste the same hashtags every day. Once in a while, and I have 30, which is the maximum you can have. So if I'm going to add something, I have to subtract something, which I sometimes do. Like if I am doing a collaborative piece post, I will, and in the hashtags are the BOMH and the gallery are always in my daily hashtag collection, but it would be good to subtract something and add in the other artist to be sure.
You can
I
also
don't,
tag the
do
art
people
itself.
hashtag in Facebook too?
Yeah.
I don't know about the hashtag in Facebook. I don't think so.
The way hashtags work in Facebook now, it used to be
Oh.
they just ignored them, but now they use them a little bit, but you don't really, so like they'll just randomly pick one of your hashtags. And if you notice, it'll say something like, do you want to see other posts that have this hashtag? So they're doing that as a way to kind of just add some engagement, but they're choosing which hashtag they decide they want to
Okay.
highlight.
I usually just put one hashtag in my daily Facebook post, and it's the one about what holiday it is, because if you hover over it, it will show you how many posts they have for it. And usually there are a lot. So I think that some people then will click on that and they can, I mean, it doesn't help me. They can just see other people's posts that are about the same holiday. I just, for me, it's every day is a holiday.
Mhm.
But is it the at sign that you could use more? So like when you're like that one that
No,
you're
it's
talking about,
an actual hashtag.
but yeah, but see, that's the hashtag. But in Facebook, so like you were saying, time to design holiday, and it say this work, and you put at Jesse.
Right. No,
thing,
yeah, I
or-
know that. I know
So then,
that.
but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, that in this, you can actually put that at, but then
Right.
even when you hit that, like Kim, if you just tap the photo itself, so then the photo comes up, the photo. Oh, yeah. Like, so then we're looking at the photo itself. So when you hit that to go just to the photo, you could, yeah, there, when you're setting it up, they usually say there's a tag area. So you could have tagged, you know, your art page, your
Okay.
Best of Missouri Hands, your, you could tag Jesse in that as well. So that also, you know, it pulls back to them. That would be the, you know, the,
Right.
and
Yeah, I do that. I didn't do that in that particular sculpture post, but I do
That's
usually
awesome.
try, if I put the little at thing, if I'm collaborating with somebody.
That's awesome. But that's,
Well,
ooh, that's
in
pretty.
respect for time,
Okay.
is there any
Yeah.
other questions? Lori, did you have any questions on Facebook, your page, or?
Well, how about if we get, do a quick rundown on Lori's page, and yeah, Lori, if you have any questions, holler at us.
Holla.
Okay,
She
so
needs
you
to
got
she
your,
needs to unmute if she's gonna holler.
yeah, unmute
Okay.
yourself, Lori, and
Sorry, I am not very good with this whole Zoom thing, so I figured
That's
out
all
my
right.
coffee kicked
We-
in,
we all-
and I'm like, oh, I can use my phone. So
yeah, we're all learning now. On your you've got the same thing for your banner and for your avatar. This is a chance for you to show some of your artwork. You might want to
Okay.
use your logo as your avatar and put a piece of your artwork up here on the banner. So when people first come to your page, this is what they see. So it'd be nice if you had, some of your artwork up here, because if they don't scroll down, they don't know what kind of work you're doing. They don't, they wouldn't know that you're a jewelry artist, and I can see you do beautiful work.
Gorgeous.
Also too, in your about section, like, and I see you've used the other piece too there. You might want to, I don't know. For me, myself, I like having my name in there somewhere, but some people don't want to, because like right now, it's hard for me to associate this page with you because I've never met you. I don't think I have. If I have, I apologize. But I need some kind of a connection. I want to be able to connect with a person somewhere. I want to, because I don't even, by this, I can't even tell your name. I mean, so I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful logo and stuff, but I need a little more to connect with you.
okay.
That's beautiful work. See, I've liked your page. I don't know why I've not been seeing your stuff. Get this posted on Best Missouri Hands. And see, that's the nice thing about having a business page, able to share things so quickly to, man, you do so. I have met you, haven't I? Have I
Yeah.
seen you at a show?
Yeah, and
Okay, I was
and
gonna
I'm
say,
the
'cause
one. I have my grandfather had the black-faced sheep, so I bought black-faced sheep cards from you.
Okay. I was gonna say, now I do recognize your work.
She's at
So,
Stone Soup Gallery.
And nice,
That's maybe when
okay.
you've gone to Stone Soup.
and
you
nice
take a
photos.
picture.
I love this of your dog wearing your piece. That's cool, because just think of how many animal lovers are out there. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't wear jewelry,
you
but
can't
now
get
for some
cats to
reason
do
I
that.
think I need a piece of your jewelry. No, the cats aren't as easy to model.
Yeah, cats won't do it. I've tried.
Okay, now, are you juried, Lori? I apologize that I don't know
No,
this.
I
Are you
just
juried?
barely, I just applied.
Yay!
Okay,
So
okay, excellent. So you and Cindy both are going in this round of applications because she just put in her application too. So your photography is, are you doing this yourself? Or are you having someone shoot your stuff?
I do it.
Nice job.
Do you
Nice
use a
job.
photo
Thank
Are
booth?
you using a light box?
No, I just use sunlight, and I, depending on what the piece is, what time of day I shoot. Like today is a great day because of all the snow and there's a lot of light. It's reflected light, so, and flat. But
How
some
do you
pieces
how
are
do you do
better.
the gradient background?
Oh, I put it in. It's all in Photoshop.
Really?
Uh-huh.
It's so beautifully clean. I can't get
Yeah.
clean like that
And how do you
with
do
the
that?
gradient
Because
background.
when you select the image, it's really hard when you got all those little pieces.
It takes quite a bit of time to do.
Okay.
And I've
Wow.
been working in Photoshop for like 30 years. So, it's not difficult for me to do that.
Well, you do a nice job of it. And I see that you must use Instagram too, because you've got an assortment of hashtags over here.
Correct.
I want to caution people on hashtags. It's good to kind of follow what Instagram is doing on them. Sometimes they tell you they'll like all 30, but recently I think I've heard that 9 to 16 is kind of a magic number of hashtags.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's really frustrating to me. They tell you can have 30, but then if you do too many, then they kind of ignore you. So you might just, to me, I think it's like every post, do a different number of them. Do something to kind of just make it so it's not all the same. So maybe sometimes you do 15, sometimes you do 30.
Okay.
I don't know, it's frustrating to me because the rules change so frequently, you can't even keep up on them.
Yes.
So Laurie,
One thing
are you doing these posts in Facebook and then having them automatically go to Instagram?
No, you have to.
I-
You cannot
sometimes
push.
you can do,
Yeah,
I'll
you
go
can't
back and forth.
push,
I do. I post them at
but
the
you
same
can't
time.
push from. Yeah, you can't push from Facebook to Instagram, Nina.
Yeah, you do.
You have
Yes,
to
you
post an
can.
Instagram.
No.
You can.
Yeah, you have to use the
You
business.
can you can post in.
Yeah, I that's what
I
I'm
use
doing.
the business.
You have to use the
Oh
business.
yeah.
too.
Yeah, you have to do the business thing and use the publishing tools.
And then you just click
Oh,
both of them.
okay.
You click where they all go. And you can
I think
actually
we might want to do what do you guys think? Should we do a class on kind of the business suite publishing tools?
yes.
As part of our workshops.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I use Creator Studio every day and use the publisher tools every day, but I'm sure there's some others. We could probably get a few of us together to put a little.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those, so I would like that. And one thing too, I want to point out, Lori, that you're doing right is you're hashtagging your business name.
Yes.
You always want to hashtag if you're using Instagram or anything that utilizes hashtags. Always hashtag your business name. So good job there. And I love that your dog is wearing all your jewelry.
Yeah. I love those
She
posts.
likes doing that too. So
I love the post.
One of the reasons you want to hashtag your business is people can pin your images. And if you've got that hashtag, if you've got that image tagged, then when it goes over to Pinterest, you are still tagged associated with that image.
Because a lot of people do grab a
Yeah,
lot
I
of your
think-
images and put them on pictures without your knowledge. So it happens so often.
Um, Well, I think your Facebook page looks great, and I want to buy your jewelry because I love your dog. So that's
The only comment I have is that we need to see you
I-
once in a while. We need to see you once in a while. Love seeing
Yeah.
your dog, but we need to see you.
Okay.
yeah, I
And
agree.
you're beautiful, so go
I
for
agree.
it. You're
I
not
think-
crazy
I
like
think-
me.
Barb, I think that applies to you too.
Say it again.
I think that
Yeah.
applies to you too. We don't see, you don't use your picture as your avatar, and so we need to see you once in a while in a post.
Okay.
Yes.
I hate doing that.
Yeah.
I know, I do
Okay.
too. That's why I make myself an avatar, because then I don't have to make myself a post.
Ah.
Very smart. Very smart. Well, and you're mixing up your posts, and your photography is beautiful. And your jewelry is just, it's stunning. So,
And it looks like you've got tags,
I think
tags on your products, so you're doing some kind of shopping.
Trying to.
Okay, well, in
Yeah.
interest of time,
And,
does anybody have any specific questions? I'm happy to stay on, but I also want to respect everyone's time and answer any questions people have.
No questions. Just
It was
thanks so
nice seeing
much for
everybody's
doing
face.
this.
This has been very helpful.
Very.
Yeah, you
Thank
know what?
you.
I'm impressed by everybody that you guys have, you have put yourself out there, you're putting the work in. You've got the business pages, and so I think everybody should pat themselves on the back, because it takes up a lot of time to create these posts, and it's hard putting yourself out there, but kudos to everybody for doing that. And just
Absolutely.
while we're on here real quick, I'm just gonna pull up Allison's page real quick and Wanda's page, and we won't have to stick
for
with them. They
Wanda
know they're
first.
doing wonderful.
Wanda
No, you don't need to do me. I mean,
Yeah, you don't really need to do me, because now I know all the stuff I have to change. So please. Learn from you guys.
I'm just gonna throw it real.
I learn.
Okay, so Allison has a special going on right now. She's great about changing her banner to whatever she's doing. So she keeps it fresh all the time. She's got to contact us, so Allison, you might want to look into, connecting that to your website or something.
It does
She's
go to
got
the
her
website.
about, and I think, okay, good. And she's got an about section. And I think you could add a little bit more to that,
Yep.
Allison, because that
That's why I
doesn't,
said, yeah.
you
Oh,
can
Patsy,
expand on
Patty,
that.
I did learn something that makes me crazy. This is one of the problems. I have constant contact. I have my pieces, periodically to push to my Facebook page. Well, that was really interesting. If I don't have an image, that came up. And so then I lost my imagery that I usually have, because the other ones show an image. And I was like, oh, okay. So mental note, when you start doing outside sources coming into a page. So that was very interesting. I was like, oh, great. Not fun. So that's why I said, yeah, you all could have skipped mine. I've learned so much, all the stuff I have to change now. So thank you guys.
But that's okay, because that's what we're here for.
that's what the whole.
For one, Allison, your page is another one that's a beautiful page. You have beautiful images, you do beautiful work. You're also a graphic artist, so you got these beautiful postcards and stuff that you create of your work. So, I think you got, there's your live video from the other night, which congratulations, you did fantastic.
And I give that to
But you got a nice assortment. Well, you've got a nice assortment. You've been doing great. So, and I like that you show the process of your work, the drawings and stuff like that. That's very interesting. I'm like amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So you're doing a fantastic job. So don't cut yourself short. Because, when I grow up, I want to be like you. You do a wonderful job.
And I'm gonna
So,
say that about her,
all
but
right,
she
we're
knows
gonna-
it.
I'm curious
well, I think,
move toward newsletters because I don't really have anything to say to people, so I'm not sure what I would do in a newsletter. But in any case, I'm also curious, being the world's cheapest internet user, I use Mailchimp, which is free. So why would you use
Mhm.
Constant Contact when you can use Mailchimp for free?
I
well,
started
Nina,
out with
don't.
Constant
If you got
Contact. That was why. And MailChimp wasn't in play at the time when I first started.
Oh, okay.
And all my things were
Yeah.
there. People were used to it. They have, I'm learning more about MailChimp, but they have a really cool integrate, all the things that Constant Contact has in a lot of different templates and a lot of different integrations. So I just gotten used to using it.
Okay.
And
So
I'm
does
always
it
under the
work
amount.
better with the other things? Does it play better with the other things
Yeah,
that you already have?
I think so. Now, see, I hear good things about MailChimp, so that's why I don't want to per se say anything like MailChimp doesn't do this, but I'm just saying I only
Okay.
know it from the Constant Contact side that it does, push straight over to the social media, all the social media. They have a really great area for analyzing who's who's clicking it, why, all that background things, all the analytics. I enjoyed that part of it too. So at least I know which direction to go. Oh, well, that one didn't really work out well. Let me try this. And they also do send a lot of things of how to improve it, how to
Okay.
improve your thing. So I like that type of the support system I have behind it. But remember, I don't know MailChimp really well. And so far that I know of, I heard a lot of great things about MailChimp. So that's why nothing against them.
So when you send your newsletter, are you telling people about like your special Facebook event? Is that what
Yes.
you're?
Yeah, that was the last one is that I actually told them about the actual sale, had some imagery. Then and then I also had another little section that explained the Facebook Live, and I put live links and everything so then people could go straight to them. So
Okay.
if in my email, you could actually I have it, so I link the actual photos. So if they hover over the photos,
Oh,
and then I actually link the text as well. So I'm already have links all the way through. They even have it as a preview. So you can preview it. You can actually send it to yourself, test everything without it ever going live.
well, Nina, I would say if you've got MailChimp and you're comfortable with it, stick
Yeah.
with it.
yeah,
And,
but
and
I
when
just
you
don't. I
think
don't
of a
know what to
newsletter,
use it for. I don't know what. I
well,
so rarely do
you
anything
can
because
just
I don't know
introduce
what
a
to
new piece.
say. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, you could just introduce a new piece, or you could tell them what gallery they can find your work in. A newsletter doesn't have to be long. You could have just one piece of information in that newsletter and say, hey, come check out my work at such and such gallery, or hey, I'm going to be doing this exhibit, or this is a new piece I just worked on, or something like that. You don't have to be like me and write some kind of a novel each time you do a
I
newsletter.
like your novels.
And get in trouble. But I'm too wordy. Yeah, so you don't have to be. Don't don't sell yourself short on that. And the thing is that newsletters are even of more importance now because we're not getting
Yeah.
out there and doing the shows, and we're not getting to do the exhibits with the live receptions and stuff
Right.
like that. So the newsletter allows you to stay in touch with the people that really like your artwork. So, and maybe you put out, one every 3 months or one every 6 months, or you don't have to do it monthly. You don't have to do it weekly. You set the
I
time
used to
frame
just
that
use it,
works for you.
when I was doing a show. And so I think I don't know, I'm just depressed.
Yeah, well, get out of that, okay?
Yeah.
Because
We're
you
here
got
for you.
work that you want to get out there and let people see.
So make
Start
your
with
newsletter
promoting
your
one of the
show.
galleries you're in.
Yeah, make the newsletter kind of
You
like
know.
your show, a little mini
Oh.
show.
Oh, okay.
True. Good
And,
idea.
and I want to point out this here, Wanda did the same thing here like Barb does. Right there. So she took and kind of, these are two different pieces, but you see how she did it with something in it,
Yeah.
like you're doing, and
Yeah.
then one plain. So you can easily do that. And then you
That's much better.
give people an idea.
Yep.
Yeah, you give people an idea of what, what kind of size it is, or, by having an item in it or whatever. And then they get to see it by a standalone piece too. So I think that's something that could, kind of help your post, just for people to be able to relate to them easier. So.
I was gonna just kind of also point out with Patty's when she had the mug and the piece at the kitchen
Love
table.
that.
That type of it made it even more than just we call it like the glamour shot. It being functionally in a
Mhm.
home. Oh, I can see that. I can use that in my everyday life, and that makes it a little bit more viable. I know that sounds really odd, but which is something I actually want to do. Is I have a couple of friends, although now that COVID took over, it kind of messed it up. But I wanted to just put certain little necklaces, because Wanda, when we were talking about like what size the piece was, I wanted to, I have a couple of friends who I don't want to wear my own things because I don't have the face for all of this, but I wanted to have a couple of people just, have a piece on, in an everyday appearance, almost like what you guys are doing with placing them. And now COVID has now kind of ended that idea I wanted to do, but
Then
that
do it yourself.
makes it feel like
Do it
Huh?
with yourself for now. Do it with yourself. Have James
Mhm.
take the picture if you don't want to do a selfie, but do a few like
Yeah.
that. You don't have
okay.
to do them all like that, but do a few like that.
Yeah, I could just cut my head off and then just
All right. I see Lori, or no, Cindy hopped off. Okay.
I've got
Well,
one
I
more
think
question.
this has been very informative. Yes,
I've got
ma'am.
one more question. When we were looking at my page, you said that my banner looked really good, but I have never changed my banner. So do you suggest that I make some more banners and rotate them out? Everybody
Yeah,
shaking their head yes.
Yes.
If nothing else, every time you change your profile picture or your
I
cover,
don't do that either.
but every time you do, Facebook shares that with all of your followers. So it's just
Right.
another way to kind of get out in front of your followers. So I think changing it just gives you one more engagement.
And here's one other question. How many of those pieces on your banner are already sold?
I'm sorry.
How many of the pieces on your banner are already sold? Because that's why just for that reason alone is a good reason to change up your banners. Because if they are looking at them and say, oh, I love that piece, it's always a way to refresh and to show your new creations.
Okay.
And that's like a spot on, like, boom. Oh, that's new. I love that piece. And that automatically gives you some dialogue.
Yeah, good point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks so much, ladies.
Fantastic job.
This was really good.